All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Swain Batty League Season 2023, Week 6, Game number 3. I am 30, joined by Mitch, aka LCAT, on the mic. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited that we have a game that is going to have some implications here. If you are, if you're, are the names off on the stream? There we go. All right.
Yep.
If you are a fan of Tizzy and the Smash Brothers, you are rooting harder than you've ever rooted against Zed Switty Soling your entire life. And if you are on the side of ZSA, they need to win this. Flex Panther has already secured second. We have high expectations in first, and now this game is going to decide everything for who gets to go into the postseason.
Yeah, it's a big one here, coming right down to the wire at the very end of the regular season, the third round robin. And I can't help but feel all the weight here is on ZSA, right? They're entering the ring tonight for the very first time, their one and only game here in Week 6. And Flex Panther, they already are feeling good off a Game 1 win.
Absolutely. I love the Kled respect again going over against Flex Panther and ThunderCon. I think we all learned our lesson on that last week on the game that we watched there. I like the Twitch ban. Lazy Laz has been able to put up a decent performance on that in a few of his games, and it looks like we're just kind of going back and forth on some of the bot lane bans, taking out some of Respect's most comfortable picks, and then, the most comfortable pick out of My Wang on the Maokai again, but we do see the Aurelion Soul get through.
Yep. Interesting. Okay. Renai circulation picking it up here. I believe he's played it before. I mean, he's definitely played it before, but in an SBL match, I'm not sure actually. But
I would have to go back through match history.
yeah.
I don't recall.
But a good enough champ anyways. I think he's still pickable for sure, but definitely not as overpowered as he used to be. And look, they're looking to build the comp around him with the first pick here. Shen's going to be the first pick for ZSA. So they've started the meatball sandwich assembly process.
As
And
they
got rid of
always
Trundle.
tend to do.
I feel like that has to be because of that, because we took it last week against them. It's good against their meatballs. Yep, there's the dot for El Final Joe.
Yep. They're just running it back, everything that they always do, but it's worked out for them. We do see Tree on the Thresh, a pick that he hasn't had in a little bit, but every time he's had it, he's been pretty goddamn deadly and dangerous. We see the Jarvan picked up. Honestly, pretty good, pretty powerful picks for the side of Flex Panther, but like you were identifying, ZSA is just kind of being allowed to run down and do what they want with their pick. Like you said, getting rid of the Trundle, which has also been one of Tankax's strongest champions that he's been able to repeatedly pick. So getting that out of the way, both from the standpoint of not eating into the tanks as readily, and then also taking him off of one of his more comfortable champions, I think that's a good ban for ZSA.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tree is gonna get
Want me to wait while you
Thresh.
go get them?
Terrifying.
Terrifying. Yeah, I mean, I thought every team would. That's just a perma ban against him. But man, yeah, it's gonna be fun to see him out on the Rift again. Before, he's not as strong as he was. Poppy ban from CSA makes sense. Undercunt also a very good Poppy player there in the top lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mad respect going over to him. Deserved respect going over to him, honestly. We see the Mumu ban, again, targeting some of the champions that My Wang is most comfortable on. He does have a very, very deep champion pool, but the picks that he's been able to be the most impactful on have pretty consistently been Amumu and Maokai. Interested to see what he's going to pivot to, or if he's going to face another ban here. They probably feel like they've already got Respect locked out of. The Kaisa, we've seen that again and again and again from Respect be impactful. We do see the Silas ban come through. That is an interesting one. I don't think we've seen a Silas ban the entirety of SBL Season 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it would be pretty rare to see. I mean, the only thing I could imagine is against Bestest One, because he's pulled it out a couple times. But yeah, we'll see. Caitlyn, I believe, is going to be locked in here for Respect. So yeah, the Caitlyn Nautilus bottom lane, pretty strong laning phase. A lot of good combo potential there. What will Flex Panther answer with here?
I am so curious if Blab has actually played Isol. I'm going back through every game real quick. I don't see any, but I could just be misremembering or failing to find them. But I think Phoenix Blaze has definitely been the perennial player of that champion, with a you know uh, Blab more on the Orianas, more on the controlling, the supporting, and we see a Jinx picked up for Lazy Laz. We've seen Jinx be successful, especially in the hands of Candy Jack, and the wins that Tizzy and the Smash Bros have been able to get. We've seen Jinx be used to quite good capacity, and it looks like we're hovering at least for My Wang for Zed Soul, another champion that he has a good amount of comfort on. And as I say that, he pivots to the Zac. Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, okay. Finally gets to whip it out again. It's been a while. I feel like he's drawn a lot of Zac bans in recent weeks. Just an incredibly good, powerful team fighting jungler, right? Scales well. And so they opt to go with that than the more damage oriented gank heavy Elise. Um, I like both of these comps across the board, but man, look at the beautiful scaling for Flex Panther. Jinx, Aurelion Soul, two frontliners. Tree is gonna be landing hooks and getting that cooldown refresh every freaking 2 seconds. It's gonna be nasty.
I was corrected in Swift in chat that ZSA did draw a round two Silas ban in week 2 against Flex Panther as well.
Ah,
So something we have seen happen before, but I completely agree. We see some kind of absolute insanity scaling out of the side of Flex Panther, and if the game goes long enough, they're probably just going to be able to walk away from it. So, like we have said, like you and I have said, since we seem to keep casting ZSA together, is we really need to see the team do what the comp is designed to do, play around respect, get ahead in the bottom lane early, get him some early kills, and just kind of build that into the snowball that they need. They have the disruption, they have the tanky picks, there is no Trundle on the other side. I think they have given themselves the tools that they need in order to execute that plan, but it is absolutely going to be on every member of them to actually pull it through, because if they don't get it done right away, they are going to quickly run out of ability to come back into this game.
yeah, I definitely agree there. And like you said, yeah, playing through respect here in that bottom lane. You get this Caitlyn rolling, and you start putting some pressure down. Maybe getting first tower in the bot lane, rotating that mid. I mean, you have Shen ult, right? You have Zac with level 3 plus slingshot ready to go. Just a ton of pressure that you can push on these towers. Wave clear, pretty good, I guess, for Flex Panther as well. So maybe they can offer a little bit reprieve against the lane pushing out of ZSA.
Yeah, maybe. And we did see Thundercomph back on the Cho'Gath is definitely something, a force to be reckoned with. Again, harkening back to the game that they had versus Tizzy and the Smash Brothers, where he was able to just kind of pop off beyond all reasonable concern. He just, it just blew up. He was able to chomp the entirety of the enemy team. He had something like, what did he have at the end of the game? Like 5.2k health, 4.95k health, something like that. 9 stacks on the feast. Like, he was absolutely gigantic and was a major factor in their winning of that game. So I think a lot of this is going to come down to Bonkrank as well on the Shen, not only being able to play safe and not die to the predator from the Jurassic era, but like you were talking about, being able to be where he needs to be with those Shen alts, being able to go around the map and exert the pressure where his team needs him, which is something that he's done regularly. He's drawn bans on the Shen before. We know he can play the champion. So again, I honestly, if I'm both of these teams, I'm comfortable with where I'm sitting right now.
Yeah, I think both teams are leaving this draft feeling very happy and feeling like they got every tool that they needed to win the game here. Both slightly different win cons, and then obviously if this goes late, Flex Panthers comp goes off the rails. But I think CSA, they've done a lot of winning, I think, through the early game, through their laning phases. So excited to see that go down. With the Shen thing about you're saying with Bong Crank going up against Cho'Gath's or Thundercunt's Cho'Gath, I think is a lot better overall than something like a Poppy or a Kled, obviously. But I think Olaf, he's brought that up. That might have been a real tough match.
Yeah, Yeah, and that definitely could have been a plan of theirs going into this, giving him the easy landing matchup, giving it against somebody that isn't just going to constantly push him in and beat the shit out of him, somebody that he can just kind of hang back a little bit, bide his time, and I am right into the game.
Yeah, that was quick.
All right. Love to see it. Hopefully, we won't have the same issues that some of our previous casters had. Fingers crossed.
Yep, fingers crossed with this client. Not expecting much. Alright, I'm 23, 24.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Okay, should be synced up.
Oh wait, no, I gotta press equals. Shit. 36, 37.
Okay.
Alright, well, as we are going here, level 1, Flex Panther, moving through. Went sort of into that downside try and then up into blue, lay the ward, and they're getting the recall.
I find it kind of funny that Flex Panther was the one to do this here, right? Because ZSA has repeatedly done just the kind of greedy, we're going to wander into your jungle at level 1 and see if we can get anything. I don't think it's ever resulted in anything for them, but it's been something they've consistently shown us game to game.
Yeah, for sure. Just trying to eke out any little advantage they can in the early game. This is a pretty sick-ass Aurelion Soul skin, though.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I've never seen that one before, actually. That's cool.
Cyberpunk Dragon.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, CSA, they're obviously opting to start weighing on the red here. And Albino Joe and Respect, they're gonna camp in this bush, which is cheesy as all hell, but man, does it work. Let's see if they check it down here. Tree, I know for sure, knows this is the play.
I was going to say, you gotta think with Tree and Lazy Lies. Oh, and Albino Joe lands the hook to start off with. Some early damage going on to Lazy Lies. He's going to need to burn a flash. Respect turning back on the Xmas Tree. He's already used the hook, and he just kind of walks away. But right as you said, the perennial caster curse of Tree knows to check this. He absolutely has seen this before, and he's going to have his eyes on it. Gets got. They get the flash. They get some good resource advantage early in the bot lane.
Yeah, that's huge win already. Only the Ignite used from Albino Joe, but heal flash down for Lazy Last Tree, also using the Ignite, so very vulnerable Jinx here against a hook champion that can be comboed into a Caitlyn trap, so Lazy Last has to be on point with the positioning here.
3 for 1 in the exchange of summoner spells as well, but we see Tankax coming out of Phoenix Blaze, who's going to need to blow his own flash. Some good work early out of there. Thunder comes trading pretty aggressively onto Bong Crank, but other than that, this is just chill, right? This is how every game we cast ever goes. It's just constant fucking fighting from minute 1 on through the entirety of the rest of the game.
Something I just noticed in the Twitch chat, I mean, Joe was expected to be missing this week.
He was, yes. Yes, he was. He was intending to be missing. He had some issues come up with his travel that landed him back and able to be here for his team. That was kind of the joke, that we talked about on Batty Breakdown last week, right? Was these guys were going to be missing Joey, and Tizzy and the Smash Brothers were going to be missing Thrifty. Fortunately for Zed Sweaty Soul, especially on this play-in, critical play-in game that they have here, they do have their all-star support there alongside them.
Yeah, that's really big, actually. I mean, I just thought of that now, but I mean, in the champ select, I was still knowing it was Albino Joe, so still feeling pretty good here about CSA's chances, obviously. No, Wang's actually walking in here.
He is coming in. We see the flash and the hook land on the Lazy Last. Wang's got some good damage disruption going on to him already. He's able to get the kill. Tree is going to have to flash out after walking into a trap, but we see a comeback coming from Tankax and Renai Circulation onto Phoenix Blaze in mid. He's going to get away safely, though. And Joey lands another hook onto Xmas Tree. Some poke damage comes from a Squack. Oh, he's not going to be able to do it. But my God, Joey showing who is the hook master in this bottom lane in the first 5 minutes of this game.
Yeah, a good hook there at the end there. I mean, it seems risky, but if he hooks in and lands the auto, it's a for sure kill. But Tree did everything right there, using the cooldown to actually reset the autos. And yeah, close one. But to get one plate already here in the bottom lane, going really well for ZSA.
Able to get a plate, have that first blood. They're sitting up about 800 gold. This is exactly what we were talking about. Playbook, what we need to see out of ZSA for them to get things done early. But on that same note, Bonkrank got to stop getting hit up by these knockups, man. I've watched him walk into like 4 of them. My dude, you're the doctor. Stop, fucking with the T-Rex, man.
They didn't teach you that in med school? Don't
I think they
fuck with
taught him not to
dinosaurs.
do. I think they taught him how to not do that.
Yeah.
They were like, look, here are the patients you're going to be performing all of your things on, and here's a prehistoric bone-filled dinosaur. One of them you should touch, one of them you shouldn't. You got it? All right. I'm pretty sure that's in Med School 101.
Yeah. You passed. You're a doctor in the U.S.
Yep.
healthcare system now.
That's all you need. I mean, my wife is technically a doctor. I'll ask her after this and see if they had a dinosaur avoidance class at any point in her education.
Perfect. All right. Well, just the first blood here. No, I mean, and some plate damage, but so far a pretty quiet laning phase.
Yeah, there's been a lot of trading back and forth. We've seen summoners get popped basically every which way, and almost all of them are back up except the back lane, or excuse me, the bot lane still looking a little bit vulnerable. Bonkrank again taking some good poke damage from Thundercunt, and he's just kind of walking up and just owning this top lane, able to get a plate. Tank Axe coming in, going to get some knock-up onto there. We see the hook from Tree negated by the hook from Joey onto the wall, but I think they're just going to walk away from this one. Not too much happening. The hook lands back on the Xmas tree. He takes a little bit of damage from the tower, but ultimately just going to walk away, even as we see Zach come in the bottom jungle here, looking over, posturing maybe a little bit. Thundercon flashes in and misses.
What?
That was, huh.
Did he not have mana for... No, he did feast, but... Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know what happens on the top lane.
I completely missed what happened there. If somebody in chat with quicker eyes wants to call it exactly what happened there, that was something. He was Zoom. Okay, thanks, Elba.
Yeah, well, anyway, bot lane, they bring the 4-man squad, I believe, in the bottom lane. Raylene still trailing behind a little bit, but I was surprised that Respect didn't have to blow the flash there at all. Gets out.
Agreed.
Nice
Ooh,
hook.
some alt damage coming in from Phoenix Blaze on Renard Circulation. He's going to be able to get away, but they've been able to position themselves very well, get this early Drake. Again, it is a relatively even game, but I still really like where we're sitting at if I'm ZSA.
Yeah, they're starting the Dragon Timer. Got the first blood. Looking like they might be able to get first tower too here in the bottom lane, which I think is all going according to plan, just like we talked about in the draft. Get Respect big, get him out of this laning phase, and start rotating this Caitlyn around destroying towers.
Exactly. I mean, ultimately, Thundercunt has been obliterating the top lane a little bit, and he's got the one plate up there, and he's been able to get some good damage onto Bonkrank. But if you're ZSA, that's not what you're playing through. Some trading back and forth with the Chompers getting Albino Joe, but ultimately not much going to happen there. I don't want to keep getting too hyped every time I see a hook go in any direction because it's happening so damn much. We got a long game ahead of us.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be a lot of hooks here. 2 hook champions on the rift. Hank looking for it.
And Renai's just going to be his Shinryu self and get the hell out of there. And another plate for Squecht and Albino Joe. Again, some good gold going into the pocket of the person that you most want to have that gold.
Well, Rift Herald's up. Yep, there's a ping. I was about to say Tank Axe has a good path on this. Thundercunt pushing in that top lane wave.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an uncontested Rift Herald for them. There's not really a chance of anybody else coming in and getting that. Bonkrank's just going to kind of sit up top, buy himself some time, wait for this minion wave to crash into him, and Renai backed. I think they recognize that, and we're ready to go. We're ready to go back. A little bit of a question mark ping coming down, reminding him to be careful. If he steps too far down, that's going to be the end of the day for the Dr. Ninja.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he does have the Merc Treads here for Spy. Obviously, try to reduce all that CC by a little, because there's a lot in the top lane gank that might be happening here. Now, Tank Axe just gonna lay down the ward, ping it out, and rotate over to mid here.
Yeah, go up, check, walk away. And, ooh, Wang going in with the leap onto Xmas Tree, who's got a good play back onto him, but Phoenix Blaze has some good damage coming onto Tree. He's able to hit the ult and get the kill. Caught them roaming. Renai Circulation making his way back towards them, but he's just going to go back to mid lane. Again, a very nice pick out of them. And Wang looking very comfortable, hopping in and being able to get the knockups and exert the pressure on Zach. That was a flash. That was a flash. It was a respect flash. Maybe a little bit too much respect, but definitely a respect flash.
Yeah, but yeah, what you said there with Wang on the Zac here, I couldn't agree more. Looking for a really good angle there. I mean, with Zac, you have to think a little bit differently. Your engage range is so much further than other junglers, and you have to take advantage of that.
No, landing on Renai Circulation. Respect got some damage going on to him. He had the ult queued up, but didn't even need it. The dragon drops again. Phoenix Blaze grabbing the kill there, but 3-0 in kills, and they're definitely going to be able to take some good damage onto this tower here. Thundercunt and Tankax going up to Bongcrank on the top. He's got him taunted underneath the tower, but he's silenced. Wang coming back in. He's able to secure the kill onto Thundercunt, a 1-for-1, or excuse me, onto Tankax, a 1-for-1 trade in the top lane, while they were able to secure a plate and some pressure mid lane. Perfectly fine trade for ZSA.
Yep. Still up about 1.2k here. Overall, Wang going back in on
Wang going back in.
Oh, looking for the fight.
He's feeling spicy.
He just
I
leveled
love
up.
that Zac skin, by the way.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
It looks fucking. It looks as terrifying as I'm sure it feels to see that blob flying at you from across the map.
Oh, we're gonna look right back. And we're back to bottom lane.
I am going to get motion sickness from this goddamn director camera. We are just moving everywhere all across the map constantly. Skyre's Bloom's going to catch out Phoenix, but not much else is going to be begotten beyond that. A point in chat from Hook Resets that I completely agree with. Phoenix Blaze against Blab. This is definitely his best game that he's ever played against Blab in a critical game for ZSA. Something you love to see out of your mid laner.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming up really big, especially on Blab's pick too, the Vel'Koz, right? He's playing into a champion that he has extreme knowledge on, the Aurelion Soul, and top lane, this looks like this might be a fight to the death here. Lands some rupture dodges. Nice.
We got the Rift Herald coming in to the bot lane here. Gonna get a charge, going to grab this tower. Xmas Tree with the respect flash away, but Wang able to go in, get the knockups onto them. Tree with the nice disruption, getting them away. Wang still sitting in the middle of them, able to get some damage down. Bongcrank coming in with the ult. He is the extra piece that they need to be able to secure this. Respect is going to be able to get the rest of it. A 3-0. They were able to get the tower, but they were not ready for that Shen ult coming in and saving their asses.
Yeah, they committed to the tower. They had to drop the Herald, and they do get the first tower gold, but it's almost too easy for ZSA's comp, right? The Shen ult down into the bottom lane. Goodbye.
Ooh, Thundercon is so close. He flashes and doesn't kill him again. Oh, the pain and suffering.
Oh.
He did not have his feast up prior to that. I think he just wanted to get him with the E-auto and was not able to secure that. Oh, it hurts.
Yeah. Sad to see, but I mean, he does get some damage down on the tower, getting some late money, I believe. The plates are going to fall very soon. Lazy Laz. I don't know if he can win this with the chompers.
I don't think he really wants this 1v1.
No.
Respect going to give him the ult and say, "Get the fuck out of my lane."
Yeah.
You are not beating me in this situation. And that is a 4th plate for Thundercunt up top, getting it right before the plates fall. Very good on him for being able to be up. I mean, he is up 60 CS, and he is dominating the top lane. But we already saw how impactful Bongcrank was able to be on that Shen, ulting in, securing them that fight, and getting critical kills and assists onto Respect and onto Wang.
Yeah, Respect grows bigger and bigger. 2-0 into. We got the gold up on the stream right now. 1.2k gold lead for Respect here in the bottom lane, but equally as big in the top lane. Thundercunt against Bongcrank, so kind of evens out at the end of the day. But first tower, couple dragons here, and a massive kill lead for ZSA going into the mid game.
Still a very even game across the board. You know, it's definitely by no means an insurmountable lead for ZSA, but like we've talked about 100,000 times, their lead is established on exactly who they want it to be established on. Whereas for Flux Panther, it's a little bit all over the place. Renai Circulation coming up on here, able to get a bit of damage back, but Joey gonna get popped up. The Cataclysm we see come down. Thunderconth is able to get the feast, secure his Nom Nom Nami little submarine fella, and a nice kill for the gold leader for Flex Panther.
Yeah, nicely done. They see the pushing in bot lane and the top lane, and they got to make a play on it, and they go for it. Caitlyn ult. Oh, almost kills Renai there, but he will survive.
Very close.
Oh.
My Wing coming in again, able to get the knock up on a Lazy Laz. The ult from Phoenix Blaze. Whoo, he disappeared. Flash the mastery out of Wang. You love to see it. They're going to be able to secure this mid turret. And Tree trying to defend the top turret, but Respect once again showing, hey, I am Caitlyn. Hear me roar. You are not going to be able to stand here for very long. Another turret secured for ZSA. That is all of the tier 1 turrets down for them. Thunderconth coming back into his favorite Dr. Snack. And Bonkrank once again having to flash away, not wanting to stand toe-to-toe with the Cho'Gath.
Yeah, I'm not even going to risk it. All the chain ruptures and silences that might have happened there. It's a super long lane to run out, so he's just going to give him the respect like he did earlier. Keep his life for now. He does have his ultimate, so he can be there if they do decide to start this Rift Herald for the side of Flex Panther, but looks like they're just clearing vision. They got to figure out where Wang is jumping from. He's going to be the big factor in all these team fights.
Absolutely, and the big factor in all of the objective secures as well. They get the Scryer Bloom out of there. They're able to see what's going on, and they look like they are starting to move in posture for it. They are at least hopeful that Cho'Gath is nowhere nearby. I don't think they've seen him super recently, but able to clear out the vision. My Wang sitting there with backup from the terrifying damage duo of Respect and Phoenix Blaze. Tank Axe sitting outside, trying to clear some vision, maybe coming in. We see him, he does come in, and that was a mistake, my friend. You are not going to live very long for there. Joey up front taking a lot of the damage. Phoenix Blaze coming in from the side, able to get some damage on the Thunderconth while he's there. Joey going to drop two Thunderconths and the Chomp Chomp from the Cho'Gath. My Wang gets grabbed by Tree with the hook, but able to get himself out.
Tense little standoff there. ZSA, they committed 2 in the pit to finish off that Rift Herald. They were determined. They do get it, but they do lose Joey's life there in exchange. The Shen did come through, but not enough to keep him alive there. I think if you're Flex Panther, I mean, it's getting the 1 kill is okay, but losing the Rift Herald might be pretty devastating here with tier 1s already down in all 3 lanes.
Absolutely. I do not think that's where you want to be for the trade from the side of Flex Panther, and especially with your 1 kill being onto the support versus their kill being onto your now 0-3 and 3 Jarvan.
Right. Scuttle secured by ZSA. 3rd dragon of the game. I mean, ZSA get this and they put Soul Point on the board, and it's just going to be so tough to try to walk in to that next dragon that spawns. The Caitlyn traps as well. Lazy Laz is just coming in now on this Jinx. Does Flex Panther have an angle to try to fight this?
They might. I don't think the secure was as easy for ZSA as they expected, but the re-engaged in here coming from Wang. A very nice play from Xmas Tree, buying them some much-needed space. Sounds from Thunderconth going out. Joey once again going to be up in the front, going to get popped, but the ult from Phoenix Blaze coming on across basically the entire team, getting some very good damage there. My Wang in the back lane, able to fight off Lazy Laz and take him down. Respect is still up. Tank Axe is very low. The damage dealers from ZSA are still online. My Wang going to be able to leap in, get the double kill, knock up the Cho'Gath. He's going to get killed by Bonkrank. And sure, they stopped the dragon and they got themselves some kills temporarily, but at the end of the day, it's a 4-for-2 in favor of ZSA.
Yeah. It was actually, I thought it was just a devastating walk up into the Zac slingshot in to start that fight, but they actually backed up. A nice play from Tree, and they got some space and they tried to kite it out and separate that front line from the back line. But honestly, Wang, he got into the back line. He was aggroing 2 or 3 of them, and he just maxed them together, finished off Lazy Last on this Jinx, and just not enough damage, I think, in the tank here for Flex Panther.
Absolutely. The amount of backline access that Wang has on Zach, his ability to get into the back and get the Jinx, get the A-Soul, these scaling characters that obviously have not had time to scale up yet, but also don't really have too much going for them themselves. You know, the 0, 4, and 2 Jinx sitting there, she is going to be able to get some damage down, but not when you have the gelatinous ooze sitting on top of your face saying, no, you're not going to walk anywhere. You're stuck in here with me. I'm not stuck in here with you.
Yeah, and 309 on this Zac for Wang, and let's see what he's already at 8.1k. He's nearly one of the gold leaders. The Thundercunt or Respect is the leaders, but Wang is just right behind. Finishes Radiant Virtue as well with the Sunfire. Oh boy, it's gonna be tough to cut through these frontliners and Shen and Zac on the next team fight.
Absolutely. Executing exactly what they set out to do. Obviously, the Cho'Gath is still a problem, up a substantial amount of CS, sitting at 4-1-1. He's going to be an issue, but like I was talking about before, the problem for Flex Panther is that if you can't stop that backline dive, then your gigantic dinosaur that's sitting out in front of everybody, sure, he's going to continue to silence and knock up and catch out somebody like Albino Joe, but he's not going to be very effective at protecting his team like we've seen in fight after fight. Xmas Tree, though, getting a good hook onto Wang, who's going in and gets the knockup. A good stopwatch out of Xmas Tree, buying his team some time, but a lot of damage coming in from Phoenix Blaze across the entirety of the team. Respect going to be able to secure the kill onto Xmas Tree. Wang just going back in deep with the Shen ulting in, going to be slapping Lazy Lads back and forth, gets the flash, gets the additional kill. Thundercunt's trying to buy himself some time, but Wang again just diving in repeatedly, doing everything that his team needs him to do here. 4-0-12 on the Zac.
Yeah, it's looking really good here for ZSA. For Nice Regulation, has to get the hell out of Dodge. He cannot defend that tier 2 at all. ZSA's going for more, perhaps, but no, they're going to call off and do the Baron. Obviously, Jungler is not up for another 5 seconds, so should be secured for them.
Should be a very easy secure for them. They're going to be able to get in here quick. They have a lot of damage coming down. Tank Axe just coming back onto the Rift right now. Thundercunt's still away. They've got some good early damage coming onto here, and it looks like Flex Panther is not even going to bother with it. Nobody is really making their way up there. Tree just getting some vision down, double-checking a few things. They recognize that there's nothing that they can do about this Baron secure, and ZSA furthers their lead up to 7k gold, 3 dragons, a Baron, and being up 2 towers.
Yeah, not going according to plan for Flex Panther. They needed to just try to scale this one out now. Soul Point's going to be an issue here. The Baron buff for ZSA, they're going to push in all of these lanes, probably knock down these tier 2s in top and bot. And just get the waves pushing, right? And then walk right back to Dragon, clearing vision as you go, setting up the traps. Flex Panther, they have to make a decision here. What are they going to try to do here? Do they try to set up vision and go for Soul, or just sort of wait out this Baron and hopefully they don't start a fight here for ZSA. They have so many diving tools.
Absolutely. And it's, oh, as you talk about that, a nice hook on the Tank Axe from Albino Joe. The sniper shot coming onto him. Lazy Lad's going to step in front and going to be able to absorb that, but some good early damage. All they wanted to get was access to this tower. As I say that, though, My Wang goes back in. Another hook landing onto from Albino Joe. Wang still bip-bopping around with his amoeba fucking self. The Sky System landing onto them, some good damage, but ultimately they are just going to have to back off. Albino Joe posturing aggressively with some good damage, although it is ultimately stopped by the knockup from Thundercunt, but they were able to get the tower, they were able to get the kill, they were able to put the fear of God into the hearts of Flex Panther, if that wasn't already there.
Yeah, just a small misstep there. Lazy Lad's out in no man's land. He probably saw the shadow from Zac coming down from the sky. Knew that he was dead. Didn't even try to flash or heal or anything. Just so much CC can be comboed in off a Zac slingshot. And there's the pings for ZSA. They know the Dragon's up. Soul Point in 30 seconds. Gonna get those recalls in with Baron buff. Using the Jinx Rocket to stop something.
Looks like the Jinx Rocket was able to stop the back of Phoenix Blaze, but not too much more beyond that.
Smart idea, though. They stop one of those guys at the right time, and they pick off one. Oh, I mean, they stopped the back from Phoenix Blaze, so he's just going back now. It's a fast recall. Flex Panther, they're pushing forward, looking for something in the mismatch numbers here.
Dragon spawns in 3 seconds. Tank Axe is already there. They're able to get the early engage
Shin'el.
onto the Dragon.
Oh, has to TP this.
He is going to have to TP this. I think the closest thing that they have is down in Tribrush, but they're just going to walk away. Flex Panther just wanted to make their presence known, disrupt this a little bit, not let them have it for free. But My Wang going onto the Dragon and say, fine, you want to stop us taking Soul Point, you're going to have to fuck with us. But everybody just kind of walking back and forth, not really willing to engage on too much. We see Resquek coming down from mid lane, but everybody just kind of looking at each other. Oh, and a very narrow miss on the hook out of the Nautilus. That would have been a very good secure for them, being able to get the jungler, but does it even matter?
No, Renai's got to float on out of there. They got chunked out, I believe, a little bit too low on Lacy Last and maybe Renai's circulation, and they called it off. They said we're not gonna fight it. Tank Axe posturing like he was gonna fight it, so you're right. That was a little sketchy. But oh, there's a flash from Tree. Tank Axe is gonna get hit there, but he will get out.
Albino Joe getting hooked back in by Tree. The box is down, the chompers are down, but the tanky diver is going to be able to get out. Meanwhile, the other tanky diver is going to come in and be able to knock them up, knock them around. Phoenix Blaze with some good damage from downtown onto basically all of them. The silence falling onto Albino Joe. He's going to fall to the turret, and they're going to walk away. But they were able to secure Dragon Soul. They were able to secure another kill, and they were even able to do it, 30, in a 4v5 situation. Bonkrank was able to secure the tier 2 up top, while the 4 of them held off the 5-person engage on that Dragon fight.
Yeah, that was nicely done, and I think they had to have purposely told Bonkrank, hey, just keep going, keep hitting the tower here. I mean, they could have gone in, coordinated with the Shen'el, but it came in a little too late there. Maybe Albino Joe walking a little too close there. The chain CC just too strong from Flex Panther, but at the end of the day, losing the support there, it's kind of whatever. They lose a little bit of the Baron buff. Yeah, I mean, it's all gone now. But ZSA still looking good here with an 8k gold lead. 26 minutes in.
Oh, you're very comfortable for that. I actually think it's strategy on Albino Joe. He's the only member of ZSA without a bounty on their head, and he wants to make sure that any of the CC and the early engage damage goes onto his chunky ass, so that way they don't. He's just preventing them from getting extra gold by accidentally putting some CC onto team members that can actually put out damage back.
Smart. I mean, that's how you should do it. These bounties, by the way, are huge. 500, 500, 400 on the top side of the map for ZSA. Flex Panther, they have an opening in this game. It's definitely not over. Their comp is still scaling. Sure, they lost the soul, but they got to fight for Elder. Can't lose that. Another Baron buff I think would be tough to try to push against. But they do have pretty good wave clear now in the Jinx Rockets and in Aurelion Soul. Scaled up. Rupture lands, nothing to see.
They do have the ability to scale themselves together and pull themselves back into this game, but you gotta think, with all of your tier 2s down in every single lane, them having Soul being at such a power spike for so many of their characters, this is the time for ZSA to push their advantage, but they have been very good at doing that at basically every opportunity that they have created for themselves over the course of the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, and Baron buff is up in 4 seconds right now. Shen pinging his ult, it's ready. Everything's up. Lazy Last though, I see no flash, no heal on this Jinx. And yeah, Flex Panther, I think they're probably choosing the right thing here, giving it up. No way they can walk through this jungle if Baron's going to be gone by the time they even get there. Maybe looking for a pick onto the mid lane. They know that they're doing the Baron.
They get the Cataclysm onto Albino Joe, but the return damage coming from Phoenix Blaze is just too much for them to handle. Albino Joe getting the knock-up on Renai's circulation, but Bonkrank now stuck inside the box with a whole lot of bullshit. The Jinx just blows up to Resquek, though, who's going to flash forward, and, all right, you know what? I can respect it if he was able to get that there. That was pretty much everything, but My Wang going to go in, make up for his teammates' aggression. Oh. He's going to be able to walk at Christmas Tree. Phoenix Blaze going to get knocked up by the Rupture here, but ultimately in the 1v1 with My Wang versus Thundercom, no real ability to get out of this. He is going to land the Rupture, though, and just knock himself up. A 4-for-3 trade in favor of Flex Panther. Maybe a little bit too hard on the gas pedal for ZSA after securing that Baron.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Flex Panther did the great thing there, like I was saying. They find the mismatch in the mid lane and take out Albino Joe and, was it Phoenix plays. I forget who was in the mid lane, sort of pushed out there, not doing Baron, but
Phoenix
the
plays, yeah.
fight, the fight went a little long, and I thought Flex Panther they were walking into some crazy damage coming in from Respect, but he flashes in for something, trying to secure something. Probably the kill onto Lazy Laz.
He very nearly had it, and I know I've talked to Respect about this in the past. And if he was able to get that kill there and then turn and keep damage onto everybody else, I think the game ends in that immediate spot. I don't think they're in a situation where they're too scared of anything. A beautiful reaction out of Respect to get out of the hook from Xmas Tree. MyWang going in again, getting silenced, but they are all posturing themselves forward, saying, you have to deal with us going up this lane or start preparing for Elder. We're not going to let you do both because Elder is up in a minute and 5 seconds.
Yep, and ZSA looking healthy, looking strong. They still have a little bit of a Baron buff here in mid lane, so they're just going to push this one out as far as they can. Double back into this Dragon Pit Tank Axe, finishing this Krugs. Oh, nice circulation, maybe getting some damage down on Respect, but doesn't want to push it too hard. The back line for ZSA, they are sort of undefended back here, but Renai is not going to go for anything.
Renai's he just doesn't have the damage yet. He doesn't have the stacks. He hasn't been able to do anything in the early game, and he will eventually, but just not strong enough to contest at the level that we've seen Asol kind of pump off in some of our previous games. Flag and Drag from Tank Axe going on to Bomb Crank, not going to find anything. Just going to get some wave clear here, but ZSA already positioning themselves around Elder, ready for the fight that might be coming in. Excuse me, that's going to be coming in. 10 seconds on the spawn of this critical neutral objective.
Yep, and here it is, and I think it's up to Flex Panther to choose how much Vel'Koz's poke they're going to take here before they try to find an angle. K-traps are littered all the way through here. Have to be careful not to step on any of them here, and the Dragon has started. ZSA, they're looking for something. Von Craig's in the mid lane.
Decent root onto ThunderCons. The chain, or a hook from Xmas Tree goes out to Obalanjo, but MyWang sees that as a trigger to go. Phoenix Blaze sitting over in the jungle, able to get some damage on where they're not able to touch him. Bonkrank coming in, able to get the ult, save his teammate. Some massive damage out of Respect coming onto Lazy Laz, chunking him down. MyWang being able to turn back onto Renai's circulation, get the double kill. That is going to be the game. The 8-0-17, Zach. What the fuck was this game, Wang? Where was this for every other game you've ever played? This was goddamn magnificent.
Yeah, masterclass Zach coming out of Wang here. That's why that champ's banned a lot in SBL, but more importantly against MyWang here. Yeah, nice. ZSA secure their playoff spot with the win here tonight. GG.
GG's all around. Some absolutely absurd score lines from the side of ZSA.
Yeah, 0 deaths on Wang, 1 death on Phoenix Blaze, 8-1 and 10 for him. Yeah.
The lowest kill participation actually coming out of Respect at 5-2 and 12.
Yeah, that is surprising. He was really going off in the early game, but then all the kills just started funneling back into Phoenix Blaze. Or Wang here got the damage graph up here. Vel'Koz, yeah, winning by a mile. Respect not too far behind him, and ThunderCon's actually on the Cho'Gath, 26k. I mean, he did his damnedest there.
He really tried, but like we were talking about, ThunderConth was basically the only avenue for the team back in. And when you lack the ability to position your team in such a way to take advantage of it, you have the Zac that can dive deep into everything. You have the Vel'Koz that can just spray you with his void love over any wall that exists. You don't really have the time to set up and let the Cho'Gath get out in front. You just get taken down and eaten apart.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going through some graphs here on the stream, but yeah, so we got our 3 playoff teams locked in. High expectations to seed number 1, Flex Panther at 2, and ZSA squeaking in here in this 3rd slot. We unfortunately will say goodbye to Tizzy and the Smash Bros. They had quite a story, quite a turnaround here at the end of the season, but unfortunate substitution, and they will not make it into the playoffs.
Just kind of the way it goes sometimes. Still,
yeah,
play their heart outs.
Yeah.
Played their hearts out. They had some good wins. I think they would have remained competitive, especially as they kind of managed to figure their comp out a little bit more as time went on, but ultimately not really going to be able to see how that develops. And instead, we get to see ZSA, which, if they can maintain the showing that they had right here, with Phoenix Blaze telling Renai, Circulation, look, this is how you play Vel'Koz, motherfucker. If we can see this team with this performance through the course of the playoffs, I think we have a very exciting series of games going ahead for us.
Yeah, that is without a doubt true. Just the semifinals is going to be stacked Flex Panther versus CSA. This is a match right here, folks. But that it will happen next week in week 7. But for now, we are going to take a short break and get the baddie breakdown spun up for you. So do not touch that browser. We'll be right back.